other tips that you might find useful in delivering the project. So here I've gathered the small tips that I find extremely useful, yet they don't need, I think, a bigger explanation. If you find the explanation I give here not sufficient, please put it in the discussion field or send me a private message on Udemy Messenger. So first of all, admit mistakes. So whenever you miscalculated something, you did some sort of a mistake, just admit it openly. This transparency will gain you additional points among the team, the customer team, your team, and it will strengthen the relationship you are trying to build there. The second thing is to avoid politics. People on the customer side will try to involve you in the internal politics to see which side you support. I would strongly encourage you to simply avoid this sort of situation because there are not good solutions in this. The only good solution here is actually not to participate in the politics and to avoid it altogether. Next thing is basically to eat in the same places as ordinary employees. Consultants tend to put themselves in the ivory tower, which obviously causes a lot of tension between them and customer. If you start eating in the same places, you get them more familiar with your faces and then they see basically that you're a humble, ordinary person. I would also encourage you to participate in integration activities if such are being done, or even organize on your own with chosen customer representatives in order to bond with them in a more informal settings. The other thing is to gradually relax the dress code. So consultants usually on the very first arrival, they come dressed in suits. So what I tend to do is gradually leave everything. So I start with doing away with the tie, then I do away with official trousers and I just wore jeans, and at some point I just leave the jacket and I walk in a nice looking shirt. And in this way you again become more part of the team of the customer, and you don't stack up and look funny among them, especially that people tend to have a different dress code. And consultants basically dressed in suits, they stopped looking serious and respectful, and they start looking basically funny. So try to gradually, obviously if it's possible, relax the dress code. Try also to spend time to talk over a coffee with random people. Those random things is also in relation with what I said previously about befriending people on different levels. But this is also sort of in-depth information about what's happening in the area which you have no connection due to the fact that you are doing a project to a limited extent involving some departments, not maybe all of them. And in this way, once you start talking with people, random people over the coffee, you get some hints what's happening in other departments, which is good for your current project, but also helps you sell new projects. Bring cookies to the meetings. Nothing speaks better to the people than cookies. So if you organize a meeting, that's a must. If there is a meeting with a lot of people and there are no cookies, bring cookies with you. You always gain additional points in your relationships with the people if you bring cookies. So in short, make cookies, not war. And last but not least, make the meeting sweet and short. So what I tend to do is, as I said, as a project manager, I would make a lot of meetings during the day, but I would tend to gravitate to 15-30 minutes. And since in companies, they usually tend to have 1 hour, 2 hours meetings, they start appreciating you for this because they can have a meeting with you, discuss important things, decide on things to be done, but then they can actually have some time to concentrate on work. So if you, as opposition to what's happening in most companies, have short meetings, then the appreciation for you will grow. So that's in short in terms of the tips on how you should build relation, manage them within the project setting in the company. Try to implement as many as possible of those tips. This will benefit you not only for this project, but also for future projects. And it will also help you grow relationships with the people that will go to different companies and remember that you did a great job and you delivered a great project.